Hey, this is Jess, and thanks for joining us for our deep dive review on Alchemy of Souls. My guest and I actually had a lot to say, and we ended up recording a 3-hour long episode. But instead of cutting it down, we just decided to release it in 2 parts. This first part is the usual non-spoiler section of every Daebak review. The next episode will be exclusively all spoiler talk. Thanks for listening and enjoy the episode. I'm Jessica, and this is Daebak K-Rambles, where a couple of friends review Korean dramas. Welcome to another episode. I have with me 2 of my very good friends. Really, you guys have become wonderful friends. It feels like it's a family reunion. I have Oriel and Naz from the Seoul Sistahs Podcast. How are you guys?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having us back. So happy.
Yes, I'm
just
thrilled.
Don't even feel like we're recording anymore. This is just a family reunion. So
It does. It feels very natural when I'm with you guys. And we'll be talking about Alchemy of Souls today in its entirety. All 30 episodes. We'll be talking about it in the non-spoiler section and spoiler section. And the way that this came about really fast was that I was talking with you guys on social media about the show. And
Jess was just ranting.
I was ranting to Naz. I really was ranting to Naz because a lot of the qualms that I had with the show, Naz agreed with me. And then after the fact, after I finished venting, Naz was like, yeah, so Ori likes the show. And I was like, oh my God. At that point, I was like, you guys, we have to, you know what? We have to do a whole episode on Alchemy of Souls. It has been such a journey, and it's been so huge all over social media. And I thought it would just be wonderful to have multiple perspectives, somebody who liked it, somebody who didn't, and then me who will, I don't want to say nothing right now, but anyway. I thought it would be a really interesting episode. So I'm so thrilled that you guys said yes to coming on. And stay tuned, though, because I will also be on your guys' Alchemy of Souls episode. Yeah. So you guys will be covering, I think, the 2nd season. And yes. I am thrilled, so honored to go on and talk with you guys even more about Alchemy of Souls. So stay tuned for that. Be paying attention to the Seoul Sistahs podcast feed. So before we get started, if this is your first time listening, go ahead and subscribe on your favorite podcast app. We're everywhere: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. And if you like us, please give us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That goes such a long way for us. And you can come and say hi on social media. I have just said that I'm very active all over the place. So say hi, talk to me. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Daebak Pod. And if you're a fan, this is the best way that you can support the show. It's by becoming a patron. You get so much extra content. I'm constantly posting on there. And it's just a great way for you to get involved. And you can check out the page on patreon.com/alwayscriticpod. And thank you to our patrons, Janet, Curtis, Bale, Cindy, CD, and Grace. You guys are wonderful. Thank you so much for supporting us. And without further ado, we're going to get into Alchemy of Souls, Season 1, Part 1, however you want to call it, and Part 2, Light and Shadow. Yes. So I'm going to, woohoo, we're here. So This has been a long time. You guys, I don't think anybody knows, but this has been a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a few weeks, and it feels like there's a lot of ground to cover, so let's buckle up, everybody. We're going to get through it. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one. So my drama list synopsis for Alchemy of Souls, I'll just read the Part 1 synopsis, which I feel is a little bit better than the Part 2 synopsis. So it reads, set in a fictional country called Daeho that does not exist in history or on maps. It is about the love and growth of young mages as they've overcome their twisted fates due to a forbidden magic spell known as the Alchemy of Souls, which allows souls to switch bodies. It follows the story of an elite assassin named Naksu, whose soul is accidentally trapped inside the weak body of Mudok, Janguk's servant from a powerful and noble mage family in the country. The young master of the Jang family, Janguk, holds a dark secret about his scandalous birth. He wants the formidable assassin to help change his destiny. Period. So, Part 1 aired from June to August 2022. It's a summer show. And part 2 aired from December to January 2023, a winter show. And I feel like the shows, part 1 and part 2, seem like those vibes. Like part 1 seems like a summer vibe, summer show. And
You're on to something.
Yes.
Wow. I didn't even
Well,
think
this is very
about that.
this is very common for some K-dramas where they feel like the season. If they come out in the wintertime, they're set in the wintertime. They feel a little more, gloomy or whatever, more introspective. And definitely part 2 feels like a winter show. Just having come off part 2, it definitely feels more wintry. So part 1 is 20 episodes long, and part 2 is 10 episodes long. I think a lot of people who are following Alchemy of Souls know that I think halfway through part 1, they announced that they were going to do a part 2 with 10 episodes. And that was like a whole thing that sent everyone into a tizzy. It is directed by Park Jun-hwa. He directed parts 1 and 2. He's directed things like Touch Your Heart from 2019, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, which, we've done a Daebak episode on that for sure. Because this is my first life with Jung So-min, so this is not the first time that he's worked with Jung So-min. Bring It On Ghost from 2016, Let's Eat. I think he did 2 Let's Eats, first 2 seasons of Let's Eat, and then Ugly Yonga, seasons 1 through 11. So that's like some sort of weekend drama or something with lots of seasons. So he's done quite a lot. Very famous, like slice of life and romance dramas. So that's something to note.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's kind of like clicking in, right? That you're like, oh, the director is really good at directing romance. So
I definitely thought the Hong sisters directed as well. So this is news to me.
Yes. So we'll get to them in a minute. So Bae Hyun-jin is credited as also being a co-director for part 2. I have no idea if it's a man or a woman. I have no idea what else they have directed. So take that with a grain of salt. I don't know if in reality he had a co-director for part 2, but it seems like there should be some sort of assistant director or B director, B crew for other shots and different side characters or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the director can't be everywhere all at once. So
Right.
it might make more sense for there to be a co-director for part 2, but who knows? This show was written by the Hong sisters. We have Hong Jung-eun and Hong Mi-ran. They are a very famous writing duo that have written a lot of K-dramas. So I'm going to go into a little bit of their filmography, and we're going to sit really quick with the Hong sisters so we can talk this out. So Hong sisters, they've been writing since the mid-2000s, early 2000s. They've written stuff like Sassy Girl Chunhyang from 2005, My Girl from 2005 and 2006. I think My Girl has Lee Jung-gi from Moon Lovers, and and then My Girl also stars, oh my God, he was in Touch Your Heart and Goblin. Lee Dong-wook. So he's the main guy in My Girl.
Wow.
This is kind of, You're Beautiful from 2009. It was a very major drama that has, oh my God, what's her name? She is from
Park Shin-hye.
Park Shin-hye. Yes, thank you so much for filling in the gaps here. Park Shin-hye. And some other famous people as well in that show. That's 2009. And then we hit My Girlfriend is a Gumiho from 2010. And that's Lee Seung-gi. And here's the plot really fast. Lee Seung-gi gets caught up with Shin-mina, who is a Gumiho, a.k.a. a nine-tailed fox. And this is similar to, like, the Gumiho itself is similar to the Chinese Hulijing and the Japanese Kitsune. Very similar creatures in mythology, so keep that in the back of your mind. The Greatest Love from 2011. I ended up dropping the show when I watched it. Yeah, I dropped that show. Yeah. Wikipedia says it's a story about true love in the fake world of entertainment. So I dropped it naturally.
That one's been on my list for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't recommend it. Some people love it. Like,
yeah,
give it a shot, but I dropped it. So
you're like, not for
me. I mean, it was not for me. So next they have Big in 2012. This stars Gongyu. It's a body swap drama. So teenager ends up in the body of Gongyu. That drama is very famous for its terrible ending. Like the writing in that one, I hated it. It was a wonderful concept. They didn't know how to end it, and it's very famous that ending upsetted so many people.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I remember going through that ordeal with Big. So then they have
sounds familiar.
It does.
I don't
Love you, Jess. Love you.
Okay, so then we have The Master's Son from 2013. This is a woman who sees ghosts. So now they're kind of doubling up on some of these fantasy K-dramas. They did the Gumiho, they did a Body Swap, and now they've done Ghosts.
Yeah.
Then they did Warm and Cozy in 2015, which is a twist on the fable of the ant and the grasshopper, which is from Aesop's Fables. And that was kind of more grounded, even though it was based on like a fantasy story. Then you have A Korean Odyssey. And I guess we should stop here for a minute, because for Korean Odyssey from 2017, I think the other name is Hwayugi.
Yeah.
It's a romantic fantasy based on the Chinese novel Journey to the West. Lee Seung-gi, again, back in the mix. He's worked with the Hong sisters a bunch of times. He's back and plays an immortal monkey spirit. And Oyeon So, who plays a woman with second sight, and she turns out to be no ordinary human. Whatever. I dropped this one too. I disliked the way... A lot of people will be like, oh, I love A Korean Odyssey. And I'm like, more power to you, because I dropped this one, did not like it at all. And it wasn't until recently that I saw some people commenting on my TikToks about Alchemy of Souls and Hong sisters and stuff. They were like, yeah, they've been caught up in so many plagiarism scandals and cultural appropriation scandals. And I was like, beg pardon? Because I didn't know that Korean Odyssey was based on Journey to the West until people started commenting, and they were like, oh yeah. So how do you guys feel about some of this controversy? Because I feel like it's sort of warranted a little bit, because Journey to the West is like, that's purely Chinese, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we have anything here in the West that kind of does the same thing, like feels as steeped in the culture, that if some other country or culture tries to do it, we would feel a certain type of way. So just something to think about. I'm not saying they did or didn't, but that is just something to keep in the back of your head. And then most recently, Hong sisters wrote Hotel del Luna from 2019, which is a dark fantasy, a hotel for ghosts, basically, is the concept of that one. So you can see that they kind of the more they got into the present day, the closer we're getting to Alchemy of Souls. And they have basically cut their teeth on a lot of fantasy K-dramas.
Right.
The only one that I truly recommend from the bottom of my heart is The Master's Son. I love that show. Love that show. The rest, I could say Girlfriend is Gumiho is pretty good. It's just basic, basic rom-com hijinks, might be a little dated because it's from 2010, but, in general, I like that one. You're Beautiful, which we're also going to cover on season 4 of Daebak. I like that one too, but that one's ridiculous. Like, you have to walk into it and be like, this is ridiculous, like she said, I think it was Park Shin-hye takes over her brother's spot in a K-pop band.
Okay, yes. That's
so it's like a she's the man 12th night sort of situation. 12th night, right? Yeah. Where nobody knows that it's a woman playing a man or whatever. So gender swap,
right? Drama.
It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It somehow it worked. Yeah. And other than that, I think I would not recommend some of the recent stuff from the Hong sisters.
Wow.
So I'm curious, what is your relationship with the Hong sisters dramas? Have you dove deep on some of these? Have you watched some of these? Like, what was your experience watching? Because I feel like that is a huge bit of Alchemy of Souls. And there was a lot of talk online, and especially on TikTok. It felt like nobody knew who the Hong sisters were.
Oh, wow.
No.
Right?
Not really. I wasn't really familiar with their work because I haven't seen any of these things. And I know you mentioned you had a conversation with Nez, but when part 2 aired, me and you had a conversation, and I was asking you, I was like, do the Hong sisters usually do this? And you were like, yeah, I'll get into that later, all the stuff that you said. Because I actually told Nez, I was like, now I see what Jess was talking about. But when you like broke down your feelings about the Hung sisters, and then I will go into it later, how the rest of Alchemy aired out, I was like, okay, now I understand it. And even just with this, I'm like, okay, everything is kind of flowing together and making sense with their work, which I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
Exactly. It's up to interpretation for sure. There's no right or wrong answer, whether they're just kind of mining fantasy stuff from ancient literature and old concepts like ghosts. I feel like we in the States don't really care that much about ghost stories other than like, I don't know, Casper or, you know what I'm saying?
Paranormal
like,
Activity or something.
Paranormal Activity, some of the paranormal movies. But we don't have like shows about ghosts, you know, people who see ghosts and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
I think the relationship with ghosts is definitely
different.
There is that show on CBS actually called Ghosts, actually.
Is it the one with the ghosts in the mansion or the house?
Yes, and they're from all different eras.
Yes,
like there's like a Viking one, and there's like all sorts of
Is that an American remake of the British show, or is it just the British show airing on American television?
It's an American show, so maybe it's
a remake. It's a
I'd never even
the British
heard of
show.
It before.
Oh my God, you should watch the British
version.
one. That is really funny. Like some of the best comedy I've seen in television. Period. Is that show in the British one though? Yeah. So anyway, that's a big tangent. But anyway, all this to say that I feel like it's important to know who wrote some things, who the directors are, what they've done before, because I think a lot of people came into Alchemy of Souls and just like cold turkey blind, didn't know who wrote it, didn't know who directed it, and what's worse, don't care, right? And I feel like you should sort of care. You know,
it definitely does put things into perspective.
It puts things in perspective.
Because I knew who the Hong sisters were because it's like one of the names that I was used to hearing. Before Alchemy, I hadn't seen any of their work. I had a lot of their shows on my list. Like I had The Master's Son on my list, and I had Hotel de Luna on my list, and The Greatest Love on my list. But I knew like my girlfriend as a Gumiho existed and things like that. But I was like, okay, I'm excited to watch a Hong sisters, production because I had never seen one before. But now seeing their filmography, I'm like, okay, they really do like the fantasy aspect of like storytelling. So it makes a lot of sense.
It makes a lot of sense. And I will say that Hotel de Luna, the quality on that show is, to me, a marked improvement from the previous shows in terms of budget, right? If you watch Hotel de Luna, you're like, I dropped it, but I could tell that a lot of money was put into this, right?
Right.
And the talent is top talent. And all of this, IU, I don't want to think about how much it costs for her to appear in a show, but anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is they had it coming. Like they had all of these successful or mildly successful dramas, and then they got Hotel de Luna, which was very successful and high budget, and then they get Alchemy of Souls, which we'll go into a little bit more of the budget on that one in a bit, but just to throw things out there and put things again in perspective. Let's talk about this cast. So in season 1, we have Jung So-min leading this troupe as Mudok. That's like her main persona, I guess. I think it's worth noting that Jung So-min is 33 years old.
She look good.
Yeah.
33 years old. She looks wonderful. She's very cute. And she's been in the biz for a long time. I remember watching her in Mischievous Kiss from 2010. And that's like with a tsundere character, like the guy doesn't want anything to do with her, and she's like obsessed with him. You know what I'm saying? And he's like very stoic and sometimes mean. So she was in that very famous show. Can We Get Married from 2012, 2013. My Father is Strange from 2017, which has a lot of famous people in it. And I have wanted to watch My Father is Strange, but I think it's a family drama, so there's high episode count. Yeah. So I have never gotten around. Yeah. So I've never gotten around to watching My Father is Strange. Because this is my first life, also from 2017.
I love that show.
Oh, yes. I love it too, Naz. And then The Smile Has Left Your Eyes from 2018. I love The Smile Has Left Your Eyes.
I love that show too.
It is a heartbreaker, but I love it. It is like Shakespearean tragedy.
Yes.
So that's Jung So-min. We have Lee Jae-wook playing Jang-wook in both seasons. I think it's worth noting he's only 24 years old.
Yeah, he's so young.
Yeah, he's very young. He's done some things already, like Memories of the Alhambra from 2018, 2019. I totally forgot about that character, Marco, because it feels like a throwaway character. Like, am I supposed to remember Marco when the show's over? Not
Marco.
Really. They put like insane guy liner on him, and his hair's like sticking up in all directions.
Oh,
he just looks a hot mess. Have you seen Memories of the Alhambra, or have you seen clips of him?
I've heard no good things about that show, so I've never
Don't watch it. Memories of the Alhambra is a terrible show. So, side note, I appreciate the concept because I love the concept of Memories of the Alhambra. The first 2 episodes are like amazing, amazing, amazing. And then the writings just didn't know what to do with it, and they fumbled the bag. Fumbled it.
It's the worst.
It's terrible. Don't watch Memories of the Alhambra. If anything, just watch the first 2 episodes and just be like, leave on a high note and be like, wow, that was so cool. And then never watch it, never complete it. So that's my 2 cents.
Young Ben, right? It's
Young Ben, yes. And Park Shin-hye.
Yeah.
Oh,
We were
my
just talking about her.
goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top talent, really good concept. It felt high budget. Like you just felt that Netflix money, you know?
Right.
Oh my God, but it was terrible. It was terrible. Don't watch it. Anyway, Lee Jae-wook is in that. He's in Search WWW, which we covered on season 3 of the podcast.
That was a hilarious review.
Love that episode. That was such a good episode.
It was so funny.
We were all over the place. I didn't like the show. They did. So, Bemi liked a really problematic character, and we were like, "What are you smoking, Bemi?" Like it was like a lot. So, search WWW, and he's been in Extraordinary You, which, spoiler alert, we're going to be covering on season 4 of the podcast. I think he really made waves. Lee Jae-wook did with Extraordinary You from 2019. And then he did When the Weather is Fine. I always get this wrong. Do, do, sol, sol, la, la, sol. From 2020. And then he was also in Move to Heaven. And I think he must have been like a bit player in that because I don't remember him being in every episode of Move to Heaven. So
such a good show.
Very good show. Move to Heaven is one of the best K-dramas I've ever watched.
100%.
It's amazing.
I feel like it's going to be in my top 10 forever. It's so good.
It's beautiful.
So good.
Beautiful show. So that's where you can watch Lee Jae-wook. He's definitely gotten more and more responsibility as far as leading man responsibility goes. Yeah. And Extraordinary You is a high school drama, technically. So, yeah. And Ori is shaking her. Why are you shaking your head, Ori?
I hated his character. Hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I've heard this. He's a meanie, right? Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen some clips. He's a meanie. But I think what's important to note, I guess, about Lee Jae-wook and the filmography that he's done so far is that he's very versatile.
Absolutely.
And you might be swooning one minute and then you might be kind of afraid of him the next minute. And that's, I think, a sign of a great actor. I think that he's really... all of the stuff that he's done so far has really prepped him to take on such a huge role in Alchemy of Souls. Then we have Ko Yoon-jung as Jin Boo-yeon, Naksu, whatever you want to call her. She is slightly older. She's 27 years old. She's been in He is Psychometric, The School Nurse Files, Sweet Home, and Law School. I've been seeing some clips of Law School lately because her name's trending, so people putting out more clips of her in different dramas. So I have never watched her before. This was the first time that I watched her. Have you had a chance to see her in some of the other dramas?
No.
You're like, no.
It was the first time I've seen her. Yeah, I haven't watched any of these dramas.
I've heard that everybody loves her and everything else that she's in, like Sweet Home and stuff. So that she's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see because we're covering Sweet Home on season 4. So, yeah, I know. Ori's clapping. Okay. And then I'll quickly go through some supporting cast, and I think we will get into our thoughts after this. So, supporting cast, we have Min Hyun as Soyul, and he's our second male lead. You might have known him from the K-pop group Newest, and that group disbanded last year, March 2022. And he's also a former member of 101. Which I know about 101, but I guess I had no idea that they disbanded, and then he would join Newest. So this was a whole thing.
Wait,
yeah.
Jess.
Yeah. Girl, I'm in and out of K-pop, and I'm more out than in. So
I'm more out than in.
when I saw that he was in Newest, I was like, okay. And then I see 101, and I was like, I didn't know that he was in 101. And then I was like, what happened to 101? So it was a rabbit hole that I fell in. Min Hyun has basically only been in Live On, which is a 2020, 8-episode high school drama.
Okay.
So he's a rookie in acting, if you guys want to think of it that way. And then we have Yoon Soo as Dangu. He is our BFF character, sidekick character out of the 4 seasons, I guess you could say. And he was in All of Us Are Dead from 2022. So he had a pretty good year because he had All of Us Are Dead in the beginning of 2022. And then he came out with Alchemy of Souls a few months later. And everyone was like, oh my God, the difference between these two characters, and like freaking out because his character in All of Us Are Dead is a villain, like straight evil.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh my God, you guys haven't watched that show? You guys look shocked.
No.
I can't do scary like
Same.
that. I literally can't.
Oh my gosh.
I can't.
Wow. I now want to see him as a villain, though.
You have to see All of Us Are Dead. It is not the same person. It is a different. So, wow, I didn't think that you guys hadn't seen that, but watch it. Definitely watch it. It's scary. It's stressful. But it's good. So he was in All of Us Are Dead, and then he played bit parts in supporting roles in like every drama, like Throw a Rock, You'll Hit a Drama he was in. So Strong Girl, Dobong Soon, I don't know where he was in that, but he was in that. While You Were Sleeping, which we covered.
Yeah.
Like you guys are on that.
Wait.
Do you guys remember seeing him? He was in that somewhere.
Nope.
Exactly. School 2017, Sweet Revenge, My Ideas Gangnam Beauty, Love Alarm. Did you remember seeing him in Love Alarm?
I do not remember him from Love
Remember,
Alarm
we
at
pointed
all.
it out when
Wait.
Ness. We saw them.
Did you guys
It's
see
so
him?
many.
Where?
Yeah, we did on our review. We
At
pointed him out. I
school?
remember. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because I
He's
remember the
a
Crown Prince
bully
was
in
in
there,
there
I think.
too.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's her
the Crown Prince is in there
ex-boyfriend.
too.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, sorry, spoiler.
That's right. That's who
He's our
he is.
ex-boyfriend.
The Crown Princes.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yes.
remember, I
Okay.
remember now.
So Love Alarm. He was in Stranger 2. He was in Chocolate, which is a beautiful like slice of life show. At a Distance, Spring is Green. He was in that as well as like a bit supporting player or whatever. So he's been in a lot of dramas in small capacities, and now he's getting his like flowers. He's getting stronger roles. And then to round out the cast, we have Arin as Choi Ye-won. Oh, no, that's her real name is Choi Ye-won. And then the character's name is Choyeon. Mm-hmm. And then she's the youngest daughter of the Jin family, if that like puts things in perspective. I think, what is she, Spring in the 4
she's
seasons?
Spring.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She's a member of idol group Oh My Girl. Never heard of this group before, but there she is. Cool. And this Alchemy of Souls role is her first ever acting role.
Oh wow! Shout out to her.
So a couple of rookies in here, and then we have Shin Sung-ho as the Crown Prince, Go-won, and he has had a wonderful few years. He was in Love Alarm, he was in How to Buy a Friend, DP from 2021, and then he was in Weak Hero Class one from later, like last quarter 2022. Yeah. And of course, he's now the Crown Prince. So people know him, I think, from We Care Class 1 and Alchemy of Souls. However, I first saw him in DP in 2021. Have you guys seen DP?
Yeah, I did.
That's a big difference too. No? Okay. Soon. Well, Ori knows that it's a huge difference.
It is.
It almost as stark a contrast as Yoon-soo's character in All of Us Are Dead is Shin Sung-il's character in DP is vile. Just a terrible person.
I can't even imagine that. I love the versatility.
Believe it. Because when I saw him here, I was like, wow, he's okay. Because he was just evil in DP. Anyway, so we have come to the end of behind the scenes, and we've gone through our cast. So I don't know who wants to go first, but like, what did you think of the show in general terms, non-spoiler terms? And if you want to talk about a little bit about season 1, that's totally fine. If you want to talk about season 2, that's fine too. Whole thing as a whole, taken together, just go for it.
So you want me to go, or are you gonna go?
You go first.
Well, Jess kind of preluded to this. I did enjoy the show. And even after time, I feel like my love for the show has kind of grown. Overall, there are hills and valleys, ups and downs. Especially while watching, which we'll get into some stuff later. But I think this is very, at least for me, since, I don't want to compare it. Mr. Sunshine was a very break in cinematography for me as far as like the scale and like, I don't know, just the things that they were doing and accomplishing. I'm not comparing this to Mr. Sunshine because Mr. Sunshine is definitely a top K-drama for me.
But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
The craft that was in Mr. Sunshine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. That's kind of how I feel with this. And I don't know if it's because it's the 30 episode type feel, whatever. But anyway, I kind of appreciated that even more as time has gone on. So I enjoyed the show, but hills and valleys, ups and downs.
All right, Naz.
Okay. So just full disclosure, like this, I just hate saying this because I know like it's such an unpopular opinion, but I had a really hard time watching this show because this was my first like true fantasy K-drama. It's not really like a genre that I'm particularly drawn to, but I started watching the show and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I've never watched a show like this before. But I felt like, I think by the time I got to like episode 7, I was watching it as it was airing. I was just like, I was like, I'm not loving this, but I feel like I can't turn back now. And I have a problem dropping shows. Like, I feel like I just have to keep going. And I was like, I want to see how this is going to end. So I kept going.
Little did you know.
I kept going.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, like, you know, and part 1 ends. And I'm like, okay, like, that ending was pretty satisfying. I need to see how this is all going to end. So I'll watch part 2, but like it wasn't something that I was like, oh my gosh, like this is the greatest show ever. Like I'm so obsessed with this. This is awesome. Like I just didn't feel that way solely because I just don't think it's a genre that is for me. But like, so like I 100% understand why people love this show though. Like
right.
Cinematography is like breathtaking. The acting performances are incredible. And I think the world that they create is so interesting and so creative, but it was just like, it was hard for me to kind of take it all in. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts. So you disliked it. Overall, Oriel liked it with caveats because hills and valleys.
Yes. Hills and valleys. I do want to say, Jess, and I know this is going to be a topic later, this really had me watching fantasy C-dramas because I didn't know that the whole flying and all that other stuff was something that they did. So I was like, oh, and then I saw it with C-dramas and I'm like, I'm going to watch this in between the breaks of seasons of Alchemy. So I did want to say that.
Perfect. So we'll talk about that in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so because that's definitely something on the docket that we're going to talk about. So I... again, went through hills and valleys with Alchemy of Souls. I started watching and I was very intrigued by the story. I was loving this dark heroine of Naksu, and I was like, how are they going to resolve this crazy story? And I was kind of watching for her arc or what have you. I was okay with a lot of the world building. I thought it was very impressive. And the money, you can watch Alchemy of Souls and you're like, I see budget. I see, effort. And I loved the cinematography and I loved the world building. And it was fun to see such a young ensemble cast sort of carrying the show. Yeah. And having the older, more veteran actors sort of supporting. Which is, I don't want to say it's rare, but it's nice because you see that these older actors are probably giving them notes, probably helping them behind the scenes. And this is how good actors become great actors, because they act with better actors. And so I like to see that. I can kind of read the tea leaves on that and see that there's marked improvement like from the young cast throughout the course of the show. Like I said, big budget. This is a Studio Dragon show. Most people know that Studio Dragon does high budget, does really nice shows. Most of their shows look polished. They don't look like they were necessarily meant for daily, like for television. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look very cinematic. So I loved that about the show. And the patrons, my patrons know my journey with Alchemy of Souls because it declined very fast. I thought that the drama did a terrible job of creating twists and turns that felt authentic. It was all for very convoluted plot or conflict reasons. It was excellent at keeping me guessing at what was going to happen because the Hong sisters played by no rules or conventions. They broke their own rules within this world often and managed to fly in the face of good writing and pacing. So that's my main large complaint about the show, has to do with the writing and not necessarily the fixings, right? Like the cinematography, the acting, the cast, the OST. None of that is the issue because I love all of that. Yeah. It's literally the writing of the show. I think a lot of people that I've interacted with online and on TikTok, they didn't care about the plot, the pacing, how complicated it was getting. And I do. I've said this multiple times on the podcast. I'm a plot person. I don't care how beautiful the actors are necessarily. Or if they're acting their asses off. If the plot and the writing is terrible, I'm not going to stick around. Pretty much, I feel like the only reason why I ended up finishing Alchemy of Souls is because I knew at one point in the future, I'm going to want to finish Alchemy of Souls. But I didn't want to be spoiled.
Yeah, that's the big one.
I didn't want to be spoiled. It's huge. The spoiler culture on social media is out of hand. And I felt...
They don't even give you 24 hours.
No, they don't give you even 24 hours. So I thought, I guess I have to watch this as it's airing. Because otherwise, I'm going to get spoiled and I'm never going to watch this show. So I was, part of it was like that. Where I was like trying to just keep up with it. And again, I'm, I guess, the rare breed over here that's getting caught up in the plot weeds. I feel like most people weren't worried about the plot. They just cared about these characters and the relationship, the main relationship, and they wanted to see it through. It was about the machination of getting these two characters together and not so much about like the human drama of these two people and their arcs necessarily. It was just like, I want to see like, I want them to get together already. You know what I'm saying? Like in a frenzied sort of way.
Yeah.
We threw logic out of the window a lot of times.
Yes, Ori. I thought the show was... Oh my God, please, jump in.
Oh no,
Go for it, Naz.
To say, like, when you were saying, talking about how people are like, I don't care about all the storyline stuff and the plot stuff. I just care that EJ Wook is cute. Like, and I'm like, on TikTok, I feel like a lot of the commentary was like, oh yeah, like, oh, I love him. Oh my gosh. But like, people actually talking about the story in the comments, you could see that like people didn't even know what was going on in the show.
Right.
So I was just like, why do you like, so why are you watching this show?
Why are you watching?
Really? Because
yeah.
I would see the conversations people were having in the comments, like on TikTok. I'm like, you guys don't understand what's happening in this show. Because like for me, like the reason why I love K-dramas is because the stories are so solid. And like, I just love like getting into the weeds about the storylines. And I need everything to kind of like link up and come back together at the end. And it was just kind of like, I felt like there were just like plot holes left and right, and like it took away from my enjoyment. So when people were like, "Oh my gosh, this show is like I'm just here for the actor. I'm just here for EJ Wook." I'm like, "Yeah, but what about the story?"
Right, so, yeah. Right. To me, it's almost, how do I put this? If I wanted to see a beautiful EJ Wook, I would just watch like K-drama edits all day long of Alchemy of Souls versus watching over an hour-long episodes every week. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, if the payoff for you is you want to see EJ Wook in this role, or, you know, in all black semi-historical attire or whatever, just download some photos, get some photo cards together, and watch some YouTube clips, or get on TikTok
cards together
and watch some K-drama edits, because you're not really in it for the show then, like, to me.
Yeah. You're right.
So, not to be dragging people, but that's just how I see it.
Drag them, Jess. Drag them.
So, this show felt like all style and no substance. There was
strong statement.
Very little payoff for me. And I have to defer to Cher from Clueless, because she says at one point in Clueless, she's a full-on Monet. And it's like, from far away, Alchemy of Souls is okay. But up close, it's a big old mess. And that's how I feel about the show. Yeah. By episode 9 of maybe season 2, I think it was, I kept seeing seeds of great ideas that were in no way, shape, or form addressed, teased, referenced, hinted at, or Easter egg throughout the course of nearly 30 episodes.
Yeah.
So that felt like such a disservice to some of these great concepts and ideas. Felt like it was a shame because it was so poorly executed and rushed. I think a lot of people thought the ending was rushed for season 1, rushed for season 2. And tell me why that needed to be the case. We had 30 episodes. you know?
Exactly. There was so much time.
Yeah, we had a lot of time here. You sat me here for a lot of time, Hong Sisters. So, a lot of my issues have to do with the plot, have to do with the underutilization of especially female characters and the female lead.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So, I think a lot of people were saying online that, I saw a couple of people say this, that season 1 was not the main story. Season 1 was all a setup for season 2. And Ori's got a confused face on. And
yes. I'm kind of having a whole moment over here, Jess.
Okay.
Kind of because when you were talking, I was like, I don't know, a metamorphosis, out of body moment. I was thinking, I think I really like the show, and a lot of my comments are going to be about part 1, because I think part 2, I just forgot. I mean, not that I forgot, I just like acted like it didn't happen.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, I may just take back what I said. I love the show still, but I was like, for those 10 episodes, I was there, but I wasn't there when I was watching.
Wow.
So, but yes, sorry. But yes, that's why I was making faces. I apologize.
Okay. Nope, no problem at all. I don't agree. I don't agree with people that say that season 1 was just a setup for season 2. I think that's diminishing the entire show. Like, what? No. Did you guys have any thoughts before I get into the next, aspect of just general non-spoiler talk? Did you guys have any thoughts about would you have preferred it to be, if they were going to go for 30 episodes, let's say the Hong sisters actually thought this through and said, I think this is a 30 episode K-drama from the start. Would you have preferred season 1 to be 15 episodes and season 2 to be 15 episodes? Or are you okay with them doing 20 episodes and then wrap it up in 10?
That's such a good question.
Are those the only choices?
Oh, no, not at all. Do you have other suggestions for how they could have broken up the seasons?
You said they have to do 2 seasons, right?
No, they don't. I mean, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, definitely would prefer not having a season 2 at all. But if they had to, I think 10-10 would have been nice.
Okay, so 10 episodes for season 1 and 10 episodes for season 2. Got you. Yeah, that's kind of down the avenue. The patrons know this. I fully believe, in my heart of hearts, that the Hong sisters, had they wanted to, had they really had an editor and had someone who was looking over their work and said, I think we need to cut some of this. I think we need to simplify. That's my buzzword for this show. They should have just simplified the show and outlined it a bit better. Had they done this, I think they could have done it in 20 episodes, not 30.
Yeah. I agree. I would opt for a 120 episode season. I think 20 episodes is more than enough time to wrap up the story, especially because, in my opinion, part 2, like, I remember it was like probably episode 5 or 6, and nothing significant had happened even still up until that point. So it's kind of like we could have wrapped all this up in like 20 episodes, like from beginning to end, even including, you know, all that transpired in season 2. I think that they could have definitely done it in 20 episodes. I think 30 episodes is a bit much, especially because I felt like half of part 2 wasn't even moving the story forward. So, yeah.
Okay. So we're all on the same page about, like, 30 is excessive. 30 was not really warranted. You know, it could have just been 20. And, okay. So let's move on to the toxic fandom that I encountered online. So I didn't know that people were so gung-ho about the show until I started doing these TikToks about, you know, the problems that I had with the show. And I'd never meant it to be mean-spirited. And that I'm also trying to make this podcast episode not mean-spirited.
Right.
Yeah.
The behavior that I saw online was unsettling and toxic fervor. I've said this before, and if you DM me about, you know, your K-drama taste or whatever, and I don't agree, I never belittle someone for their taste in K-drama, for liking something that I dislike or vice versa. But the level of vitriol that people had for anyone who expressed doubts about Alchemy of Soul or said anything remotely negative was outrageous. It made me think that I was dealing with children instead of adults. Maybe that was the case. Maybe I was dealing with underage people on TikTok. Who the fuck knows? But it was unreasonable. And I feel like I'm a very fair person. But personal attacks are unacceptable. And PSA, they will get you blocked on any Daebak account.
Yes.
So you should be able to hear criticism without in any way taking it personally. As if you created the show. Like, it was a personal thing. Like, it's not. You didn't create the show. You can just relax. And there's no reason to defend the show. Like, the show doesn't need defending.
Exactly.
It's for entertainment.
It's a show.
It's
TV,
for entertainment.
guys.
It's
Calm
not that
down.
serious.
Yeah.
Yes. Someone made a TikTok to try and rebuff the criticism from another creator, not me, and they put her video at the beginning of their video where she said she didn't think Changuk and Buyeon had chemistry. That was what she said in her video. And that she would end up skipping their parts. She was just like, I end up skipping their parts or whatever. And the video caption said, I'd say more, but I don't want to be rude to someone's grandma, because the creator was older.
It's like so out of line. Like, for what? We're talking about TV shows, guys.
This is toxic internet behavior and culture. And what that video was saying was, let's have an open forum for tearing down this person because they don't agree with us. They saw something different in the show. And it's disgusting. You know, and as for the grandma comment, like, BFFR, people of all ages can watch K-dramas and listen to K-pop and enjoy them and, get this, find fault with them.
Exactly.
Okay? It's not exclusive to young people, so, like, fuck right off with that ageism shit. Like, that's old.
There's so much ageism on TikTok,
There is. This is a direct TikTok comment. This, I quote, "No one is allowed to talk shit about AOS. No one."
Alchemy talk was so toxic. Like,
I know.
It was out of control.
Yeah. People saying, "Oh, I miss Mudok" comments. Everyone was like, well, then go watch season 1.
Whoa.
It was like, it was never that serious. Like, what is wrong? What?
So I'm a little bit like trying to stay calm as I talk through this because I want to immortalize this and I want to call attention to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not okay. It's just not. So let's segue into, Ori, you mentioned C-dramas. So a lot of, and some of my TikToks were about this too, was about how Alchemy of Souls is derivative of C-dramas. Period. It is. And a lot of people online were saying, if someone pointed this out, including myself, on TikTok especially, people were commenting and still AOS 8. C-dramas need to take notes from AOS. Like all of this stuff. Like still like trying to make AOS out to be better. And I think it's no surprise. I disagree. I don't know what your experiences are with C-dramas, but I've been watching C-dramas for several years. Especially my favorite genres are the wuxia and the xianxia.
Me too.
So when I started watching AOS, and I said this in my Patreon episodes, I was like, this feels like this show, and this part feels like this show, and it feels very much like the vibe and the writing is reminiscent of C-dramas, and the styling and everything about it just feels like a C-drama. And someone on TikTok was talking about C-dramas, and they were talking about AOS in particular, and they said C-drama xianxia is based on rich Chinese cultures, and its unique Taoism, historical K-drama, is never going to outdo the doer. And again, I have to agree. I don't think Alchemy of Souls surpassed C-drama, like those historical fantasy C-dramas. Or you're shaking your head. You're just like...
Because that's where they make, like, their C-drama industry, and please just correct me if I'm wrong, like, that's their bread and butter, specifically that genre of the C-dramas. So it's like, it's not making sense.
It's not. It's Alchemy of Souls is a one-off, right? That did a lot of things right, a lot of things wrong, but you can't you just can't compare and say it's better than C-dramas when you're like you said, there is an entire subsect of the C-drama industry that is dedicated to producing wuxia and xianxia dramas. Some are bad, some are great. Some are amazing. Some people sit through 50, 60, 70 plus episodes and come out and say it was fucking worth it. I loved every minute of it. You know? A lot of people started complaining about C-dramas saying, oh, I loved AOS. It did all this stuff right, but I don't like C-dramas because XYZ. So here's the XYZ that people said. I collected these. So main complaints from K-drama folks about C-dramas were the CGI, the wigs, the dubbing, and the high episode count. So I'll go through each of these because I think each of these deserves at least a couple of seconds. So CGI. I learned about this recently. The CGI in C-dramas is often not very good. And it's because of like this concept of good enough in the industry, in the Chinese drama industry. C-dramas I don't think are ever, until recently, until the past few years, they were never intended for a global audience. They were intended for the Chinese, right?
Yep.
And the Chinese people evidently don't really care about giant, wonderful, high quality, expensive CGI. And it's expensive. I don't know what the budgets are like on these, but if you're making 60 episodes and each one requires a high amount of CGI, something's got to give. And that's where that concept of, oh, it's good enough comes from. So let's talk about wigs. This is a funny one because I think that AOS, Alchemy of Souls, did away with wigs. Let's talk about it. There are no elaborate wigs in Alchemy of Souls.
Men don't have the long hair or anything
Right.
Yeah, only a few characters have long hair. Only a few characters have wigs. Mostly the female characters. And the boys don't have any wigs.
Right.
Largely. I think Dangu has blonde hair for part one. So you can't really compare the wigs in Alchemy of Souls to the wigs in C-dramas that also sometimes have giant headpieces, elaborate jewelry and things in the hair, and they're doing a bunch of stunts and stuff with these really elaborate wigs. So yes, the
hair is like a prop, or like it'd be a stunt piece, the way they be using the hair, the men specifically. So
right.
Just want to say that.
Yeah. So the wigs, I don't even know how you can compare and say like AOS wigs were, no.
Yeah. No.
It's like, no,
wigs.
Not really. So let's talk about dubbing. Dubbing was a huge one for C-dramas really fast. So I learned this too. Dubbing is usually done for a plethora of reasons. Excessive background noise, and I thought this was interesting. Some of these C-dramas are, because it's an industry, there's so many being filmed at once, and they're using the same locations sometimes, the same sound stages, and especially outdoor, like palaces and like things like that. There's only so many resources, so many places they can go to, and so there's excessive background noise, so they dub. Sometimes they need to make changes to the dialogue in post-production due to orders from the Chinese media regulators, because China is a communist country. They're regulating the media. So sometimes script changes have to happen after the fact. Dubbing. And then this was my favorite one. Sometimes substandard deliveries of poorly trained actors makes dubbing a better idea. So a lot of reasons for dubbing, and I totally understand it. Some people can't get past it. I think I have. Over the years of watching C-dramas, I have. But just have a little grace with the dubbing. Some C-dramas do it better than others, but there's that.
Does every C-drama have dubbing?
More often than not, they do have dubbing. I think it's only recently that they've started backing off of doing the dubbing.
Oh.
Yeah, in recent years. And then also high episode count, this last thing that people had complaints about. Interestingly enough, the reason why some C-dramas have a lot of episodes, high episode count, is because of money. They get more advertising money. If the drama's popular, if it's doing well, they'll be like, let's add some more episodes. Let's write some more stuff in because it's doing well. So they're getting advertising money or what have you. So that's also contributing to the low quality of some of these high episode C-dramas. So what did the government do in the last couple of years? I've just said the Chinese government is very controlling. So they said, no more high episode C-dramas. We're not doing those anymore. We need to increase our soft power. We need to compete with Korea. So lower the episode count and increase the quality of the C-dramas. And that's why you have certain C-dramas having 36 episodes, 40 episodes, and it's a little more manageable. It's because the government stepped in and said, we're not doing those 60, 70 episodes anymore. It's not working.
Wow. So 36 to 40 is short.
is short. And
Wow.
luckily, C-dramas are not an hour a piece. They're more like 40 minutes.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know for me, if it's not 40 episodes, I'm not watching it. So
Ooh. Yeah.
I like
think
them
the
long.
episode count is 30 to 40 per government mandate. So
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't want to freaking hear it about C-dramas being worse than Alchemy of Souls. I can list 20 C-dramas that are better than Alchemy of Souls.
Yeah.
So it's, again, it's pretty subjective. If you don't like the language, if you don't like Mandarin, if you don't like high fantasy, then don't watch wuxia and xianxia C-dramas. But there you have it. Last thing about this, cultural appropriation. I heard a lot of people in my TikTok comments talking about cultural appropriation because of the C-drama aspect of Alchemy of Souls, how it's derivative, talking about clothing being derivative, sets being the same as other C-dramas. And I was like, I don't know about all that. I thought that was a bit of a stretch
Yeah.
Yeah.
to call it cultural appropriation. I had some people comment in Japanese on a couple of my videos, and I translated them meticulously because I was like, what the hell is going on? It was like back and forth. Like they were commenting back and forth. It was a whole conversation. So they were talking about, it seems like a lot of Korean people think that Alchemy of Souls is very much a Korean culture show. And I was like, what? So it kind of devolved, but they brought up this great question. They were like, are all wizard movies since Harry Potter considered plagiarism?
Wow.
And I was like, that's a fair question. Thank
Right,
you,
yeah, 'cause where do
Japanese
you- where do you-
commenters.
Yeah. Because where do you draw the line?
Right. I don't think that it's plagiarism, but you have to acknowledge the roots and the
Right.
inspiration, and that it's not original. AOS is not original.
Right.
So I think that's where I want
Inspired
to,
by something.
yeah. They went into like sushi versus kimbap, like, and I was like, oh no, like I can't deal with you guys. So
Yeah.
that legend says they're still commenting to this day. So talking about fantasy K-dramas, again, Alchemy of Souls is not the first fantasy K-drama. There have been many fantasy K-dramas that have come before, and I'll name a few.
I was gonna
We've got
ask you about that,
Goblin.
actually.
Yeah? Perfect.
Yeah.
So we've got Goblin. We've got a bunch of Gumiho dramas. Roommate is Gumiho, Girlfriend is Gumiho, Gu Family Book, Tale of the Nine-Tailed. We have a Korean Odyssey, which that has its own controversy. We have Arthdal Chronicles. I hate Arthdal Chronicles.
I remember you posted about that when you were like, this is the
Junki,
worst.
right?
Yes, Sung Joong Ki is in it. I hated Arthdal Chronicles, and it had nothing to do with acting, sets design, the world building. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with the overcomplication of the plot, which is
Yeah.
the same freaking issue that I have with Alchemy of Souls. So, Arthdal Chronicles, if you can get through that and understand what the hell happened, see me because I want to know. So, we also have The Legend from 2007, which is an oldie. We have Bulgasal Immortal Souls. This is a recent drama from 2021, 2022. Hotel de Luna, Master Sun, Oh My Ghostess. These are all ghost shows here. We have Mermaids with Legend of the Blue Sea, Sweet Home, which is like, I don't know, monsters or something. Tomorrow and Doom at Your Service, both with Grim Reapers.
So good.
Yeah, we have Angel's Last Mission with an angel mystic pop-up bar. We have Abyss. Don't watch it. It's terrible. We have The Bride of Habeck. Don't watch it. It's
Won't watch
terrible.
that either.
We have The King, Eternal Monarch. Don't watch it. It's terrible.
Hold on. We gonna talk about that later.
We'll talk about it offline. We have Immortal Admiral Yi Sun Shin from 2004. And I didn't mention any of these, but there are a number of K-dramas about time travel, body swaps, vampires, robots, zombies, and demons. So, Alchemy of Souls, not the first fantasy K-drama by any stretch. However, I did look up most expensive K-drama productions because I was like, I'm curious. Alchemy of Souls is very well done in terms of, you know, the production design, the setting, the CGI and stuff like that. So what is the budget for Alchemy of Souls in comparison to other fantasy K-dramas that I just mentioned? So actually, I'll go through the other ones first. So Goblin, 15 billion won. Production was $12 million.
Wow.
We have Arthdal Chronicles. This is very expensive show. And it's not even done. Season 2 is coming out. I don't even know if I'm going to watch that. Arthdal Chronicles, 54 billion won. $44.2 million to make Arthdal Chronicles.
Oh my goodness.
The Legend from 2007, which is very close to Asianse, has like immortals and stuff like that in it. 43 billion won, $35 million.
Wow.
Recently, we have Bulgasal, Immortal Souls. That one production was 40 billion won. That's 32 million. $32 million to make Bulgasal, Immortal Souls. Hotel de Luna was approximately $16.3 million. Legend of the Blue Sea, which I had no idea this is this expensive, 18 million to make that one. I was like, where is this going? Sweet Home, that one, $24.5 million.
Wow.
The King Eternal Monarch, $24.5 million to make that show.
Gotta be the Netflix.
So
It
the
gotta
budget
be.
for Alchemy of Souls was 40 billion won, approximately $35 million.
I believe that.
Wow.
It's the fourth highest of all K-dramas.
Wow. At least
The production cost. The production cost was that high. You can see it. And this number doesn't include season 2.
That's
Oh.
crazy. That's insane. Wow.
So, if you're wondering why you liked Alchemy of Souls versus other fantasy K-dramas or other K-dramas, you might be just seeing money. You might be just seeing budget.
Yeah, because definitely very well made. Like, very well made.
Yeah. So I wanted to note that because people are like, oh, the CGI of C-dramas. And I'm like, not every C-drama is a $32 million budget for 20 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Like, you got to put it in perspective. So,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. So, I'll probably put this list of fantasy K-dramas in the show notes in case anyone wants to watch some of these. I don't recommend all of them, but viewer discretion advised, I guess. So, now that we have all of that out of the way, I think we're going to get into the weeds for Alchemy of Souls now and go into some spoiler talk. What would you rate the show out of 5 soju bottles? Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, I can go first. I'd give it a 2.5.
2.5. Okay. Ori is shocked.
Because I thought I was
sorry.
low. I gave it a 3.5, mainly because of part 1.
Okay. Wow. I will give it a 2. 2 stars out of 5. And I'm being
Wow.
generous.
Yeah, Jess, I was going
Because-
to do 2 as well, but
Yeah.
I was like, it's a little, okay, let me, give a little grace.
I want to give it as much grace as I can, but the writing, a lot of decisions were made, and I don't agree with them. So we're going to get into it right after this. Part 1 has concluded. Flip over the disc to hear side B. Just kidding, but do join us for the rest of our Alchemy of Souls discussion on the next spoiler-filled episode.